Richard.
Hi, Gigi.
I'm Richard.
Hi, Gigi.
No.
Hello, check.
No, I
Testing.
No.
Yes.
Welcome to San Francisco.
Great to
Thanks
be
for
here.
having us. Be quiet, I'm talking. Hey.
Is yours working over there, your microphone?
I don't know, is this on?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it goes. Welcome, thank you guys so much for being here. Will you tell us a little bit about what most people will know you for, and then what your favorite character was to play, or to voice act for?
Okay, so as some of you guys may know me as the voice of Tommy Pickles from Rugrats. And some of you guys know me as the voice of Buttercup. She does not like Mojo Jojo, and she's gonna whoop your hiney if you're friends with him. So, jump! I also do like Rudy Tabootie from Chalk Zone, you know, I don't know if you talk about me. And I also do Steve and Curious George, and he's just a boy. You know, he sort of talks like this, and my typical kind of boy. And then I also did the voice of Babe. Love, 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 love. And the baby penguin and Happy Feet, Baby Mumble, who was like, my feet are happy, and so he talks like that. So any kind of voice that's really cute, I get to do.
Unless it's my voice, which is really cute. Let's see. People know me as Alpha 5 from the Power Rangers.
The Power Rangers, I'm in trouble.
They know me as Dagget from the Angry Beavers. They know me as Billy from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy. They know me as, Invader Zim! Which is our favorite? That's the question.
That's a good question.
That's a really hard question. You know, it's a hard question for me to answer because so much of my own personality goes into my characters. And when you're working on those stories, they mean a lot to you. I have favorites for different reasons. Like, Dagget is most like my personality.
How so?
Well, because, there's this one episode where it's called My Bunny Guard, where this big rabbit is like threatening the beavers. And in the end, we realized that it was him that was doing the threatening all along because he wanted us to be friends with him. And so we said, we would have been your friend, Big Bunny. And he goes, you're just saying that because you want me to stop bugging you, whatever. And Dagget goes, yeah, so. That's more like my personality. So, yeah. And Zim, I look as the comedy and the randomness is so out there, which is like me. And and Alpha was just,
And I think I have to say, first of all, I'm looking in the audience and I'm seeing Chucky over there and so confused. I'd have to say, Tommy Pickles was my favorite because he's sweet. He's a sweet character and he has a big heart and he's a leader. So I like the fact that he's gentle, but he's also a leader. Like he runs things. But I like when people are sweet, they can run things and they're not mean to you. So I like that about Tommy Pickles. And I think I played a character in something called Germ Girl once. You guys probably never saw it, but she was this really sexy, beautiful germ. She was a girl, and she would just lure you in and then kiss you and infect you with a cold. And I really like that. It was really funny. Yeah.
How did you guys both get into acting, or voice acting rather? What was your first steps into discovering this is what I'm going to do for quite a while now?
well, both E.G. and I started on camera very young. We were very young. I was a kid, I know you were a kid when you started.
Yeah.
Around the 80s, I did a film called Summer School, which is probably before a bunch of you were born. And surprisingly enough, she's going to kill me for telling this story because I've been singing this song all day. We did a music video for Summer School with a hit song called Mind Over Matter, sung and performed and written by this lovely lady right here. So
Michael J. wrote.
Michael J. But I still say you wrote. You had to have co-written something, right?
A lot of songs.
Yeah, all right. Sorry, Michael J. Then around 1990 or so, my on-camera career was kind of like floundering. It wasn't going really where I wanted to go. And someone said, "Have you ever thought about doing animation?" And I really knew nothing about animation. I'm not kidding. I was like oblivious to the voiceover.
Yeah.
I shared a commercial agent. My commercial agent shared an office with a voiceover agent named Cindy Schnarr. And I said, "Yeah, I want to be a voiceover." And at the time, she said, "Okay, go make a demo reel." And it was like literally a reel-to-reel demo.
Yeah.
And I was just really lucky. In like a couple of years, I was doing animation. That's all I got to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let me think. Let me think about this. It's a good question. I was always doing on-camera like movies. Like maybe you guys have seen me in like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I was Dottie. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. Oh yeah, back there. Maybe the big like devil's fist up rocker thing. Okay, so check it out. It's actually getting hot. It's amazing because it's cold in here. Okay, so anyway, so I started doing movies, a lot of movies. So I did Valley Girls. Did you guys see Valley Girls? I was in that. I was in kind of sleazy, trampy one. But that's what I like those roles.
Just like Tommy Pickles.
I like to play the field. I go from really trampy to really sweet. So, I was doing a lot of movies back then. I did movies called Better Off Dead, and just a lot of different movies. If you go on IMDb, you'll see. But then what happened was, I never really thought about doing like voices or anything, but I was always a singer too. Like I always had a lot of music. You guys can go. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. If you're in this room today, don't leave the room without following me at Real EG Daily. Just put Real in front of my name, straight across. But anyway, so I did a lot of music, and then one day somebody offered me to do a play, and I was like, they said, "Do you want to do this play? It's about a female wrestler." And I was like, well, they said it's a musical. And I was like, well, do I get to sing throughout the show? And they were like, yeah. And then I said, do I have to put the band together? And they're like, no, it's a real play. Like, my concern was like, I was gonna have to pull the band together and rehearse, and pay everybody. And I was like, I can't pay everybody, rehearse everybody that back then. So they said, no, it's a real play, and we'll, so I ended up doing this, you know what I'm talking about, pulling a band together and paying everybody and then rehearsing. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I did this play, right? And some guy came up to me because in the play I played a female wrestler, and each round of the play I was a different age. So like the first round I was a baby, like I was a baby, and then I was like, hi, I'm Tansy, and she was kind of like Tommy Pickles, but more a girl. And then I went up to a hi, I'm Tansy, and then to a 10-year-old, to a 16-year-old, to an adult. And some guy came after that show and handed me his card. So the lesson that I learned from saying yes to that play was, all I really wanted to do, which was the reason why I said yes to the play, was I wanted to be singing, right? So I was like, I just want to sing. So I said yes to this play because I love singing, because that's where my heart is, right? So I always tell everybody, follow what that thing is. Like, your longing is your calling. So if something's calling to you, follow it. Because I did this play, and suddenly I got this card handed to me about voiceover. And he said, you should do voiceover, you're really good at this. And I was like, I don't know anything about voiceovers, I'm a singer, I'm an actor. So my very first audition was for an animation show, and that turned out to be Tommy Pickles, my first job. So the message is, follow what it is that you love to do, because that'll lead you down the right path, right? Who knew I was going to become like a famous cartoon? I didn't know that. So anyway, that's what happened. I ended up, doing cartoon after cartoon after cartoon. It's amazing.
Yeah. If you could...
I gotta hold that dream forever, that dream may be right. Don't look back. You can see this video. This video is it's called Mind Over Matter. Put it in YouTube. Mind Over Matter, EG Daily, you'll see.
He's in it, and he does some crazy stuff.
It's a crazy stuff.
Okay.
I was crazy once.
No, I love them. So I was actually going to ask if you guys would sing it at some point, but I'm not even going to.
She sings it. I just ruined the video.
Well, if you could take one of your characters, I've always been curious. Could you ever put it into another universe? Would you ever try to like put it in a regular situation or a different universe of any sort?
Well, you mean like, Powerpuff Girls went to space. Remember they did a
Yeah.
special that went to space.
I watched this already. Yes.
You've been watching it, you stalker, no?
I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, is that what you mean though? Like in another?
Yeah, like take one of your characters that you voiced over, and if you were able to, do you think they would work out in another universe?
Well, I think
If that makes
I
sense.
think as an animation,
Yeah, we can exist in any.
we can, yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah.
Yeah, we do crossovers all the
Because I love the crossovers with Billy and Mandy a lot too.
Yeah, we did it with Kids Next Door.
Right,
Mhm.
and they did Rugrats and the Wild Thornberries, remember they did that? So yeah, I think that's a really cool concept to take, that's what I loved about the show, Chalk Zone. Did you guys see Chalk Zone?
Yes.
Yes.
I was Rudy Tabootie, Penny, and so Rudy Tabootie, and then they got to go to all kinds of different places, which I think is so cool about animation, is you get to be all kinds of people in all kinds of places, and you can be an inanimate object and have a spirit and a personality.
Yeah.
Sometimes the different universes are disconcerting. Like it was a little disconcerting the Simpsons and Family Guy.
Yeah.
That was a little strange. It felt really weird.
It felt a slight bit forced.
It did feel forced,
Yeah.
yeah.
To really try to bring
You
both.
could sense their competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could tell that was the reason they did it. It was like,
To get into the writers' room at the same time for both writers from both shows, trying to figure out like whose joke was going to get pushed over first.
A lot of times we do different universes on the show, like on Billy and Mandy, we did an anime episode, which was one of my favorite ones, where Billy was really tall and had his nose was like a little bit sleeker.
What's really cool is when this is my favorite thing, some of you guys may know me because I've done some Rob Zombie movies. That's the other side of the spectrum. I do those dark horror movies. But you probably saw it, yeah. So Rob Zombie, yeah, dude, I know. So yeah, so Rob Zombie always hires me now. So I've done Devil's Rejects, which I played Candy. She's a hook. I can't say that because we're talking to kids too. Anyway, and I also did in 31. I played Sex Head, which is so cool because Rob was like, I want you to do Sex Head and kind of like do. He had me dress up like I kind of feel like it's like who saw it? It was kind of like if you see 31. It's kind of like a little anime type character. And she's like a live anime character kind of like, but I got to change my voice a little. It's like, so I thought, this is me getting to be a cartoon, getting to be a human in a movie. It was really cool. So she'd say things like, see you later, papa. Like getting to be an actor, but you get to, yeah.
Slow me down,
I was going to ask, have you guys ever done any pulled pranks on anybody with your voices? I talked to somebody before that had done voiceover acting work, and they said that they had done a bunch of different like phone call pranks and stuff when they were younger. So I was wondering if you guys had ever done anything like that.
Hello?
Yeah.
Pranks? Hello?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you have any examples of any if you do?
no, for me, I always really lower my voice because they always say, excuse me, ma'am, when I'm on the phone. Or if like I go to a drive-through, I'll always like, I'll have a quarter pounder with cheese, large fries, supersize that. My kids always go, why are you talking like that? I said, I'll know in a minute. And they'll say, that'll be $14.39, please pull the first window, ma'am. This is a sir!
I do it like when those telemarketers call your house and they're like,
yeah.
hi ma'am, can we speak to, we're here talking about a cruise. And I'm like, oh, my mom's not home. She really doesn't like strangers calling. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do love doing that. Yeah, I do that. I usually do this. Like, yes, I was in the I'll say, sir, are you all right?
It works.
It works. They finally hang up. I love this.
Yeah, my mom asked me to get your home phone number so we can call you at your house later when you're having dinner, lady.
Just a quick reminder, you guys are also more than welcome too, just a reminder for those that have just come in, if you would like to ask questions as well, there are microphones over here to your left and to your right. Go ahead and line up whenever you guys are ready. So come on up, don't be afraid.
You have to take a tram to that microphone.
Yes, yes. We can go ahead and start right over here.
Stars are night, they're big and bright. Sorry. Anyway,
Thank you.
sorry, my favorite part of the movie for some reason. So two things. You don't have to name names, but what's the worst experience you ever had in the set or on the booth? And I know networks aren't the greatest people ever, so have you had any conflicts with networks and doing episodes or certain references that couldn't get through?
On the set, there's just multiple stories I can tell you of bad things that happen because it's just par for the course. But in the booth, yeah, they're like, at one point, when we were doing Even Beavers, Norbert says, "Shut up, Dagget," and we couldn't say "shut up." And so we had to go in and re-record, and he had to say, "Hush up, Dagget," and then they aired "Shut up, Dagget." So.
I would say, that's a good question, and I would say not necessarily terrible things like in animation.
Yeah.
Some of the worst things is like when you can't stop laughing. When you and your friends, like the Powerpuff Girls, when Tara Strong and I and Kathy Evanini are in the studio and we're like swearing as our characters and like, and we cannot, and we talk dirty and we cannot, dirty meaning like dirt, just kidding, dirty. We talk dirty, we talk about dirt. And, you know,
You soiled yourself.
Yeah, and we can't stop laughing and they're literally like, okay guys, we're like, okay, got it. Listen, Mojo, Jojo! So there's that, and then I had one incident that's true, which was when I was doing a Rugrats, and I was pregnant, and as I was doing Tommy Pickles, I'd be like, "Oh, Chucky, I like being Nikki. Nikki's good," and then I'd be like, "Oh, please," and I'd be like, I was literally having contractions during the Rugrats session, and it's kind of renowned because. Like, my doctor was like, "You're not in labor," because I'd gone to the doctors the day before. He's like, "You're not in labor." And I was thinking, okay. And so I went to Rugrats, and I was like, "Oh, Chucky, oh, please." You know, again. And then they were like, "Nietzsche, you're having contractions like every so many minutes." And I had my baby hours later. Yeah.
Not at the studio, though, right?
No, thank you. No, but hours later in the hospital, I had that teeny baby. Yeah, so funny question, great question.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna right over here.
Hi. Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, but...
You're wrong!
No.
Oh,
You did some work for Blizzard Entertainment with like Warcraft stuff, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
what was like doing video game work like? What was
Run!
Run! And don't look back. Yes.
No, what was
You
video
gotta
game?
keep
On the right track. Now you guys are gonna all have to watch it.
So
We're doing what can be done.
So what was video game like work versus like cartoon work? How was it different?
Yeah, it's totally different. I love doing video game work, but I love doing animation. Because in the early days of our animation work, we used to all be in the room together, and we called it a radio recording. We'd be recording together, so it's exactly like Iji was just saying. We'd be laughing and joking and cutting each other up. Not with knives, but with shows, yes. But then, video games, you're usually by yourself. I mean, they do it more now where you're more meeting with the other person. But in video games, they give you like 144 lines and 4 hours to record them. But those 144 lines are done 3 times each. So it's 3 times as many lines are there. So it's a little more, for me, it's a little more vocally stressful. But, you know, I get to create characters that I love. Like, I do a lot of the Ratchet and Clank stuff. And I love those. I was the Zony in that, and I was Pollux and Stuart Thurgo, and so I love those games. And Chaos is fun in Skylanders. But for those chapter games, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right over here.
First off, I love summer school. And,
Yeah.
Better off dead, so.
Run! And don't! Yes.
The question I had is something I've always kind of wondered with animation. Do you guys do the voices first and then the animators animate around you guys? Or do you guys kind of watch the animation and then do the voices?
In the old days, they used to do the animation first.
They would do the
Yeah,
storyboards
they would do
first.
the storyboards first, and then you would go in and do your voices. Nowadays, they do all the animation to your voice. You do your voice first, and then they take it, they send it away, and then they do your voice, they add the voice. But the thing is, in the rare case where you have to fix somebody's voice, where you have to redo someone's voice, like Little Froggy in the Little Rascals movie. Did anybody see the Little Rascals? My daughter's calling me. Hi.
Run!
Yeah. But anyway, in the Little Rascal movie, I'm gonna answer. That's gonna be fun. Watch. 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 So cool. My daughter's calling. She's in the audience. That's so cute. Hold on. Say hi to the audience, Hunter. I love you, Uncle.
Now tell us your social security number.
Anyway, what was I saying? I got
About
it.
storyboards. Yes.
So the little rascal. So they had a little boy. They were all real kids in the live action, and the little boy, like the guy that played Froggy, the little kid, couldn't quite do what's the eyes like this. He couldn't go quite there. So then they bring me in, and then I do his voiceover. So in that case, I have to watch the voice, watch the boy, and then redo the lines. So it's a little trickier because you kind of have to listen to their rhythm and do it the way they do it.
And yeah, Cartoon Network, they were really heavy into their storyboards, and so like we kind of had to stick to the storyboards. Whereas at Nickelodeon, we were just in the studio improvising up a storm with a lot of stuff we were doing, and so, but like Yuji says, it's mostly now we record our thing and then they animate to us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice, thanks.
I remember I'd never done animation before, but when I was a little girl, like in your age, how old are you?
I thought you were like 31.
When I was your age, what's your name? Gwen? Hi, Gwen. When I was Gwen's age, when I was only 8, I used to walk around the playground with my best friend, Michelle, and we would hold hands. We would walk around the playground, and then every once in a while, okay, that's fine. Every once in a while, I would be like, we would start talking as babies. We'd do this baby voice thing all the time. So I already had this voice. I would always be like, oh, come on, Michelle, let's go have a glass of water. Perhaps maybe we'll have a snack too. And so then we would walk on the playground and do these voices, and then cut to, noticing that I was always doing funny little voices and able to mimic people and listen to people. Cut to, here I'm an adult, I get this audition to do this little voice audition. And I was like, it kind of looks like he would sound like that voice I've been doing my whole life. So instead of doing a girl version, instead of like, oh, Michelle, I kept it more boy and talk like this. Instead of just sort of like, the voices sort of came out. Yeah. And usually when you see a picture of something, it gives you a voice. Like if I look at you guys, I can I play a game all the time where I try to imagine what you sound. And, usually I'm right.
You sound like this!
I doubt thee like this. Anyway, good question.
You sound like this!
Thank you.
Right over here.
My question might be a little similar to the other gentleman, but I write stories, and I'm starting to make audio stories about them, and I tend to voice the characters differently. It's superhero, rather superheroine stuff. I like to do over-the-top voices. I wonder if you have any advice for getting a good voice and having a consistent voice if you're doing more than one during some type of reading.
If you're doing more than one, what was the question about that?
If you
Get them complicated? Get them confused?
well, keeping the voices consistent, or getting
Yeah.
the gentleman said, getting a really good, I'm thinking of developing a really good voice for particular characters.
My answer is that, to be honest with you, we rarely start with the voices. We start with the story first. And a lot of times we don't know what voices we're going to do until we get into the studio that day. Because like I might be doing a voice and they'll say, well, it's too close to E.G., so you do something different. But it's so with consistency, practice having the characters talk to each other over and over, because a lot of times we play multiple characters in our shows, and we don't record them separately, we record them, like when I did Billy and Mandy, I was doing Billy's dad, and Billy, say Dad, yes, Billy, and you just practice it over and over.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, there's a lot of times where sometimes I'll go and do like a couple, I'll do the mom, I'll be like, honey, it's time for bed. Mom! Yes, dear. Mom! No, honey, it's time for bed. Like, and the weird thing is, it's like, you know how you're different than, let's say, the gentleman right behind you, or my Chucky girl over there, or, you know, this little baby here. It's like, in my mind, everybody's like a different person, so I don't really think like, oh my God, I'm going to confuse my Chucky over there with the gentleman behind you with this baby. Like,
that is a human worm baby.
Yeah, there's no confusion. It's kind of like they're all different people, and they just live inside me, and they just come out, and it doesn't really sound very tricky for me. Yeah.
I think I know that feeling. I've developed enough characters that they run around in my head, and I don't let them out once in a while.
That's called psychosis.
That's scary.
I want to see a doctor.
You're scary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, just to do a little plug, but I do have a seminar that I did called E.G. Daly's Up Close and Personal Voiceover Seminar. So if any of you guys are really interested, it's on egdaily.com. I'm a plugger. It's on egdaily.com. And if you scroll up, there's like a little link for this voiceover seminar that I did that teaches you tips, tools, how-tos, you know, a lot of really practical information that you can learn how to teach yourself voiceovers without even going. It's good to get in classes, but if you can't, then the voiceover seminar will teach you a lot of things, so check that out too.
Run!
And don't look back.
What was the name of that again?
Run!
Oh, go to egdaily.com, and then it'll be the E.G. Daily's voiceover seminar. There's a link on there.
Thank
Or
you.
I think you can get it on Amazon too. Yeah, you guys heard my story. I wasn't really out to try to make that happen. I was trying to sing. And in singing, this magical little tap on my shoulder was like, you should try this voice thing. And I was like, quiet. And it's like, you should try this voice thing. I was like, no, I'm a singer. You should try. And I was like, okay. And then Tommy Pickles was born and my whole life changed. Yeah. Listen to that little voice.
You also, weren't you a cameo on Friends as well?
I was, I was like, smelly cat. Wait a minute, that was good.
That's right, you were the evil partner.
I was,
Sold out
hold on.
Phoebe's evil partner.
Wait a minute. Hold on, I wasn't evil. I wasn't evil.
You were evil.
I was like her friend, and I stole her smelly cat song. It's perfect for a kid later. Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Smelly cat, it's not your fault. Or sticky shoes. Yeah, but I was on Friends. That was really fun. Yeah, that was great.
That's awesome. Right up here.
I'm aware that there are a lot of people who started going to the field of voice acting, myself included. My question is, what advice do you have for any people who want to go into the field?
I'm sorry. If you haven't taken any acting classes or improv classes or sketch comedy classes, that's the place to start. Because, like I said, it never starts with our voices. We've all had training as actors.
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell people. If you want to get into voiceover, you gotta have the acting down.
Yeah, you want to be good at this. So you really want to know what you're doing as an actor, because you have to be able to execute a character, and people are not seeing you, so you want to be able to close your voice and really hear that person. So you need to be able to really feel what you're saying, whether you're a boy, a girl, a shoe, a box, a dog,
A sponge.
a sponge. Good. You have a lovely voice, by the way.
Thank you.
There you go.
Run!
Once again,
All right, you love it.
Keep going, right up here.
So how do you think voice acting as a whole has changed over the years? years, just from where you guys started to now.
So how do we think voiceovers changed since?
Yeah, you know, just like is the community different? Like the surrounding production team, is it? Does that make any sense? Or?
Yes, your question is great. I think why we're so mixed is because I don't really think it's really changed, except for the fact that Buttercup's being voiced by someone else.
Yeah, I would say that the biggest change I've seen is that when I first started doing animation, there wasn't as many opportunities for animation because cable hadn't really exploded yet. So a lot of the stuff that we were doing was like early Hanna-Barbera stuff that, you know, and then from there, when cable exploded, that would really open the door for a lot of us.
Lots.
A lot of us.
Games,
everything. But
please take the ticket.
yes, the number you have reached. And the other thing is, like I was saying, we used to do a lot more radio reports when we were all in the room at the same time. And now, because we're all working on a bunch of jobs, it's hard to schedule us all at one time. So I miss that aspect of it.
So yeah, so basically just more games, more different types of voices. And the voice of Buttercup is slightly different.
Right over here.
So, Richard, you've actually worked on Psychonauts, which I haven't picked up yet from PlayStation, but I will.
Yes.
And I will give my honest opinion on Twitter.
Oh, what do you want, money?
No, but in all fairness, what was it like working on Psychonauts? And AG, you actually did a very good job on the judging as well for, I think it was...
I judged something?
Yeah.
What did I judge?
I think it was American Idol.
She was a contestant
Oh, no.
on The Voice.
Yeah, I was on The Voice. I was on
Yeah.
Team Blade on The Voice. Yeah, good memory though.
Yeah.
You got it the wrong show. You did good. Yes, you did good.
To answer your question, Psychonauts was a blast. Tim Schafer's a great guy. We're in the middle of doing Psychonauts 2. We also did Psychonauts, the VR game. And I watched EG on The Voice as well.
You're sweet. Can I be on your show?
Yeah.
I want to be on the Psychonauts.
Psychonauts. Good question.
Good question.
Right over here.
Okay.
You were here a moment ago because you talked like this.
Yeah, I'm a huge Invader Zim fan. Ever since I heard about the show, I've been also a fan of Johnny Homicidal Maniac and anything Jonathan Vasquez has done. In regards to that, what was it like working for him? I know he's an extremely eccentric person. I imagine he'd be difficult to work for.
No, actually quite the opposite. He's a really down-to-earth guy. He's not as, there's the difference between the image and the actual people. And when we're working, it's like working with a really creative guy, and he really is. What I love about Jonan is that he is seeing the story in his head as he's describing to you, and he gets excited about that. And when I see passion in someone, then I want to work with them, because they see what they want to do, and it makes me want to do whatever I can to help make that vision come true. Except that when I would walk into the booth, he would punch me in the neck every session.
Oh.
Right? No, just kidding. No, just kidding. He's a great guy.
Yeah, was he pretty liberal with your ability to do the voiceovers, or was he pretty controlling on how you...
He'll be the first to tell you that his idea of what he saw for Zim was not what I brought until I started doing it. And then he goes, oh wow, I didn't even consider that. And so it's a happy marriage.
That's cool. Good question. Thank you.
Right over here.
Kind of nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Oh no, he's got the giggles. Oh, the giggles. That's That's what
Yes.
happens in a session. See,
That's right.
Okay, time to record. Okay.
Who are you?
Okay, start talking. Okay, guys. Okay.
Who are you?
Time to record.
Who are you?
Okay, time is money. Time to record.
Who are you?
I'm gonna make you come up here and talk in a minute.
I'm just curious. I'm just wondering. I want to see you voice like other characters, like such as Christopher Walken, like Timmy Turner or something.
You would? Okay, you have money to pay us?
Okay. I don't know. I don't know how to.
Boy, Christopher Walken is not
Not
like
take it
Walken.
like that.
You gotta talk like
And
this,
you gotta
don't
try to
like
talk
that.
So we don't
Yeah.
That was a good question, though. Was there a question?
I heard I want to see.
Listen, Mr. Giggles.
I was supposed to ask if you could do like other voices too.
Yeah.
You mean other people's characters?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I do a really good Tommy Pickles.
Let's hear it. Yeah, sure. Sure you do.
Hey, Chucky, what's going on? Where's Phil and Lil? Yeah, I'm Tommy Pickles.
Come on. Now I wanted to really put some effort into it.
You have to give me one of your lines.
Baby's gotta do what
A baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do.
It's okay.
I always heard like this. A baby's gonna do what a baby's gonna do. Hey, Chucky.
All right, people, go sit down.
Right over here.
Hi.
Wait a minute, I saw you. Were you here a moment ago?
I was wondering what studio you work for.
She was wondering what studio you work for. Right?
The studio of life.
We work for Disney sometimes, Warner Brothers, Plastic Chupo, and Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. Boom! Booyah!
Booyakasha!
Yeah, there's so many, and they're all so good, and they're so fun. If you ever come to LA, you should go by and try to see where Nickelodeon has in school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting me do the little voice.
This will be our final question I just had.
Final question.
Yeah, and we're gonna wrap it up. What is one thing that you've taken away from all the characters you voice acted? What is one character?
Money.
Oh yeah.
Dinero.
Sorry, was more the question?
Pesos.
Is there anything personally that you've kind of learned or gained as your own person, like something that you've learned about, like, oh, that speaks to me, or I've learned something new about myself through playing this character or voicing this character? If not, that's fine.
I've learned how when you have a dirty diaper, it's kind of stinky, so you better not let it be dirty for too long.
I'm doing one right now.
That's depends.
You know, the whole voiceover community has taught me more than I can even begin to speak of, because, you know, I find that within our community, we're all pretty, like, generous of spirit with each other. The on-camera world is a little bit different. It's a little bit less generous of spirit, although I've had great experiences on camera, but the voiceover community in particular, you know, it doesn't feel competitive.
Yeah.
It's like if I don't book something, it's easy booked. It's like, well, that doesn't surprise me. Good, you know.
Yeah, it's a very supportive group, and everybody's so superiorly talented. That's a word. Everybody is so really super talented. When we do sessions, like, I'm amazed at the people I work with. I sit there, I'm like, Like, I can't even believe how talented the voice people are. Like, they really are the most talented people in the world, because they can do imitations, they can mimic, they can do other people's voices. It's really amazing.
Yeah, what I compare it to is like if you have like a bunch of guitarists around, and they do a
They're all special.
and they play, and then that inspires the next person,
Yeah.
and they're gonna play something. We do the same thing. Like if I do something and someone laughs at that, okay, then it's Iji's turn. She does her thing, and it's like wow, it's just a happy marriage. I mean, it's a blast, and it's been a
It
blessing.
is. It is
That's
really
awesome.
good.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. Really appreciate you guys being here.
Yes.
Thank you so much. For everybody downstairs, for all our co-watchers, please hear our listeners.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on our social media, Real EG Daily, straight capital letters on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook is EG Daily, and follow.
And mind over matter, EG Daily on YouTube.
Run!
And don't look back.
Give it up for them, Easy Daily and Richard Horvitz, everybody. Have a great rest of your time.
Hello, San Francisco Comic-Con. We hope you enjoyed this panel. Now, please check around your seat, gather your belongings and your party, and exit through the doors behind you. This room must be completely empty before we can bring in the guests for the next panel. Again, please check around your seat, gather your belongings and your party, and exit through the doors behind you. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day at San Francisco Comic-Con.
I think she should try to get
Not there. Oh, I probably should get out of here right now.